Gathering Place. It is located on the corner of Helmkin and Seymour Street, commonly known as the Downtown South. It is a community organization that offers many services, and one of the major services is adult education.
The Gathering Place is one of 6 adult education centers under the Vancouver School Board. So the services we provide are sort of twofold. In one sense, we help students come back to school perhaps after some time off to finish a high school diploma. And we also provide extra upgrading skills to students who may have graduated, but sometimes they need to higher marks to get into other programming.
The Gathering Place is an educational center that's co-located with other services, the library service from the community center, and a lot of the services for the city for the homeless upstairs. And it was originally set up about 20 years ago so that we could have a educational space as kind of a conduit for people that are coming in off the street and exposing them to be able to take the next step either into reading more with the library or being able to come here to upgrade. Kind of like we're often referred to as a school of second chances.
I found the Gathering Place in 2010 and I was in a Belkin shelter, and at the shelter, at the women's shelter, they ask you to leave in the day, right? And you have to find something to do. And I came to Gathering Place sort of for a sense of safety.
We have a button where we can press and people are physically safe, but I think more importantly, I think too, they're psychologically safe here, I think.
7 years ago when I came to this beautiful country, I couldn't speak. I couldn't understand. I didn't have a knowledge of English. Then I found adult education. It's helped me with a friendly and warm environment and with a responsible teachers and staff to just gain my confidence back.
Adult education changed my life, which is a very, very big thing to say. I mean, but it did. About 2 years ago, I was in a very, very dark situation in my life, and I found that learning seemed to take me out of it.
As far as education goes, the reading and writing, I gave up on that years ago. And as far as computers, it wasn't part of my lifestyle. It was tough to watch other people using these machines, and I couldn't care less. I did my own thing. Now, the energy is awesome. I can learn how to use computers, pens, paper, I can read, I can write. To put all that energy and time into positive places rather than, I mean, we all know where we go when we're homeless and broke. It's not a good place to be, where this is a very beneficial place to be.
This self-paced is working for me very well so far because it has helped me to be more reliable and work more independently without teachers and stuff. So yeah, I really like it. I'm enjoying the experience.
I'm on self-paced. However, for example, I could not read, and the teachers spent a lot of time teaching me how to read. How can we do English without reading? Now I can read and write.
I take math. It's a self-paced and 2 structured class. It's computer and English, but math is kind of like self-paced.
As an adult, we also have part-time job, or we get sick. I got to go to the hospital for a month, come back later, and I could hardly walk. I come here and I slowly come back. And self-paced course is a good idea for adults.
Self-paced more worked for me because I was diagnosed a number of years ago with dyslexia. And dyslexia to me, which is a learning disability. Sometimes when I'm reading something, the paragraphs or the words will get jumbled up with things.
For me, being disabled, unable to work, unable to do a lot of different things, one of the worst parts of this is having nothing to do except wait for doctors, try and find something to keep a person going forward. With the Gathering Place, we have the opportunity to come here, go to school, work on computers. We have teachers, What a way to fill up a week.
Well, I diagnosed with PTSD, which is I didn't know I had it for many years. Then the courses was very, curriculum was very pressurous. I couldn't compete or I couldn't keep up with the pace. But self-paced was very good, and the teacher was very gentle and very not very pushy. Not pushy. They said, take your time, help me, and I just step by step I learn. Now, as a result, I can take classes and courses.
I've been working at the Gathering Place for about 6 years now, and I can tell you it's much more than just about the education. The sense of community and the sense of security provided to a lot of our students who come here is tremendous. It's one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had, I can honestly say, as an English teacher. A lot of our students perhaps have suffered or encountered obstacles, as we all do in life. But some of these obstacles can have hindered perhaps other performances in past educational places. So, you know, some of our students perhaps might need assistance with housing and assistance with mental health support. Camaraderie and respect go hand in hand with that as well. So I think it's about providing second chances to people who are wanting to move forward and perhaps make a positive change in their lives.
When you see the community get together in either graduation, so you see the culmination of all of this blood, sweat, and tears and struggles and obstacles that people go through, and then they finally get to walk across that stage.
I try to lead by example. I know my classes, like, don't just take my word for it. You should always check stuff yourself. Like, if you're ever uncertain, like if Zoran says that, you know, something equals something, you should check it out yourself. You're in science or whatever. So you try to empower the individual themselves. And there's an old saying, I had a supervisor at university. He's saying, I think the important thing is not to know the answer necessarily, it's how to find those answers. So try to empower these people that anybody can find those answers. It's not just special people. So that's what I try to do.
Everything here is very laid back. It's very open and it's very friendly. There's no, at least in this center, there's no power dynamics. I never felt like there was a strange power dynamic. I almost felt like I'm on the same level as the teachers here. So when I go and I approach them, it's like approaching like a colleague or like a coworker or something, and they want to help you. You know, it's not this, like when I was in high school, there was this kind of weird hierarchy going on with the teachers, right? And I didn't like that because it actually prevented me from approaching them in general. But here it's a lot different, you know.
Yeah, really, when I came here, I was very shy and scared. But now I've learned to like rely on myself and be more persistent about what I want to do, like in life.
I guess what this place inspired me to do was to come out of my house. I was a woman, and I would wait for my children, and I would sort of wait on hold for them. I went to UBC, I did my work, I stayed at home, I just, you know what I mean? But this community center allowed me to just come out and live a life in public, which wasn't a bar, which wasn't like a college life, which was something unique, something which wasn't just a little group of friends, just sort of a public. And I just feel like I went from being isolated to being kind of free.
One of the cool things is when you meet with someone who's a student here, or just a student in general, it's you guys meet together, and it's kind of like a common goal that you both have, and that's really cool, you know, because it's not meeting someone to go out and go to the bar with, or go and just waste time with, right? You're meeting someone to study with, so you kind of meet through what you want to do.
The environment is so fantastic. It is very good, and I like, as I said before, I like the teachers, you know, students. This place is so, you know, the hospitality is so fantastic. It's so hospitable, and the teachers are so good. And I think they will all go in heaven if the trumpet, you know, happen to ring.
I feel goodness, the power of goodness, the power of love, the power of wisdom. I feel it. I learn it. Now, as a result, I'm returning back. This is the responsibility. I think this is the essence of education. If you're gaining something, you should give it back. It's just given and taken. If the education fade, society gonna fade.
I mentioned earlier that I've been teaching for about 15 years and I've only been here for about 6, but I can hands down say it's probably been the highlight of my teaching career thus far, and I hope we continue for many more years to come.
The best feedback that I get, both in my ability and my success and also my weaknesses and where I need to go, come not predominantly from my colleagues, as much as I appreciate their input and lean on them for support. It comes from my students more than anything, and I try to make sure that that's the focus, because that's exactly what was missing when I dropped out of school originally. So yeah, if I wasn't getting as much back as I was giving or more from the students, then I would do something else.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or tell anyone who watches this video?
Behave yourself at the gathering place or they'll kick your butt out. Thank you.